So, yeah. This is Yoshi's Island played fast. Not gonna spoil the end time, but I'm sure if you've been around for the last couple hours, you already know the end time. Yeah, man, let's get into it. I don't really watch many Yoshi runs just because I run the game so much. I don't even really watch my own runs. But it's always such a treat, like watching anybody play 100%, because it's just so flashy and, you know, just non-stop action the whole time. Hey Gil, what's up? Almost a pyramid. Stairs are cool too. Pretty good 1-1. I pretty much came to a complete stop there right before the piranha, but you know, that was no big deal. Pretty much my mindset going into it, just like, you know, the early game doesn't matter. Just get through it and, you know, try not to lose too much time. Like, even the first half really doesn't matter too much. It's just kind of like survive, right? And then, you know, just don't lose too much time, like I was saying. You know, all that good stuff. Oh, hey, cotton balls. Yep. I do have a mic. I prefer not to use it. I don't really have a mic stand. I'm not that comfortable using mic, but, you know, that's something, it'll get better with time. Yeah, so far this 1-2, really good. No mistakes or anything. I caught that red egg after the foam shot, so I had an extra right there. Hey, Verazi. I don't know about that. I kind of prefer not using the mic while I stream. It makes it a lot easier to focus on the game, especially with how attention demanding it is. I suppose all I would need is like a mic stand, and I could probably do more streams like this. Okay, a little late, but I got that pipe jump right there at the beginning. That saves about half a second. When I get those pretty consistently, what I do is I use my index finger and my pinky on the D-pad and the jump button, and I just kind of move my hand as one unit. And it makes it a lot easier to get those. Ooh, get the rock shot. That shot's not too tricky, but it's somewhat precise. It's really easy to mess it up. Like if you're too far forward or, you know, not forward enough. Really good 1-3. Everything went about as good as you can ever hope for it. Didn't miss any shots, I don't think. I wasn't paying too close attention. But, yeah. Right there for that bonus skip, you jump off of the slope, and what it does, it sets your speed slightly higher than normal, and so it allows you to skip the bonus that way. Oh, hey, Dracodon. What's up? One thing I've been thinking about since I haven't watched the the whole run yet, or even, a good chunk of World 1. I'm just hoping that I highlighted it correctly. Nothing more embarrassing than, you get to like 1-4, 1-5 and you reset. And you're like, oh shit, I did the highlight wrong. But I think it should be good. Do that swag backward shot right there. That's actually faster, well, slightly faster than what I was doing. Another one of those pipe jumps. Yo, King Masa. We got it earlier today, probably a couple hours ago. But thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, so much stuff just happened right there. When I get eggs from the egg block, I'm holding up to buffer a screen scroll. And so when you get to a section of the level where the screen can scroll up, it'll happen automatically. And so that saves you time from needing to duck a second time to scroll the screen. Or not duck, but, stop. Honestly, this game is really hard to commentate just because of how much stuff happens in such a short amount of time. Like, it's not gonna be like super in-depth, formal commentary. But, I want to try to, do the best I can. Sort of explain things that, you might not know, or things that never really get talked about much. Like right here, this boss fight. After each shot, when his pants go down, I count to 4 in my head, and then on 4 I shoot. And then I usually have the cursor right there on the left edge of him. That way it doesn't bounce off the wall and then ricochet, because if you spawn a coin there, the game will lag. And obviously that'll waste a little bit of time. Yeah, pretty good start to the run so far. I think my best 1-4 time is 7:26, so it was pretty good. Glad to hear it, Beagles. Yeah, I'll try to, explain things. I won't give you I won't overly explain it. Some things are pretty self-explanatory, but little minor things, or it's kind of like what I was thinking at, any given point in the run. I'll try to talk about that. And 1-5, nothing really to say. Actually, yeah, no, there's nothing to say here. I really like all the swag that Yoshi's Island has to offer. Like, you can do so many things. Then you gotta do something while you wait for the level. Ooh, the swag wall clip. Hell yeah. I'd say I got my playstyle from watching Trihex and watching the tasks. All the APM and, ridiculous over-the-top swag that they both do. Like, that's what got me into the game. It's like this right here, just, the swag. It just looks so cool. Then it's really fun to do. Like, I really think that if you were to practice, swag, tech skill, whatever you want to call it, that'll actually make you a better player. Because you're gaining more control over Yoshi and, all the action and the movement. Also that scary swag, safe ground pound off screen just a second ago. I like to have 6 red eggs going into 1-6, but you don't need 6. Well, actually, they don't need to be red eggs. I think you can get away with just 1, because you want to use it right at the start of the next level. But I like to have 6. Just because, I don't know. A lot of the auto-scroll is just like, I do, such and such thing just because. Like, making red eggs towards the end there. Everything else really. Oh, hey, Aang. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that Trix was playing again. Hopefully him and Drac and, everybody else. Hundo needs more runners. Even if it doesn't, that's fine, but I don't know. It would be cool to see 100% more active. Okay, right there, I tongue one time, and then once Yoshi's tongue retracts, that's when you know you're good to jump off of the platform. Exiting the cave, I mean. Yo, Rector, thank you. You're just in time for the restream of it. Yeah, I missed that red coin above the piranha plant, but we'll get that on the way out. It's a minor thing, but I'm not going to have any eggs after this room, so I would have to grab it manually, which only costs a couple of seconds. But it's kind of risky because you have to flutter pretty low, and you run the risk of getting eaten by the piranha. And then right here, I grab an egg just for the next level. I like to have 2 eggs going into 1-7. Yo, humanities guy. What's up? And then for the bonus skip right here, you just run up the slope and then jump into the goal. And then a little before that in the last cave, after you do the last red coin shot, you do almost a flutter, and then that'll trigger the bat to come down. And then once you bounce on the Shy Guy, you can bounce on the bat to get up. Yo, Cyrus. Welcome. Hope you stick around, because you're definitely in for a treat this time. Hey, Zarkanzo. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate that. Yeah, so right there, I missed the flower shot through that log thing. That was really like one of the first times that's ever happened, but it's not that big a deal. And then here I like to shoot the red coin egg at the flower just so I can get the red coin safely. And then grab 6 eggs and, try to dodge the fuzzies. There's a strat that Poir does where he'll shoot the red coin egg at that last flower, but I think it's too risky to go for just because of the fuzzies. Yes, indeed, Gil. Well said. World record is worth 1,000 resets. Oh wait, you said 100. Honestly, it's upward of, I don't know. I won't say 10,000 because that's a little too high. But I checked my splits. Apparently I have over 6,000 attempts. And that's just on my per level splits. So there's even more with the castle and fortress splits. The bonus skip right there, you just you want to duck or stop at the last part in the grass, and it's doing that. Yoshi doesn't have enough time to reach full speed, but almost, and that allows you to skip the bonus by going just slightly slower than full speed, due to how it loads in, because it loads in the same every time. Right there I do a star shot, or a red egg shot for a star. And then that'll let me skip the mid-ring much later into the level. And if you flutter under the waterfall right there, it'll give you a little bit more height, but you want to go when you're doing while you're ascending on your flutter. And then that lets you reach the upper platform. Honestly, not really. I'm still having a hard time trying to wrap my brain around getting a world record. I'm sure it'll sink in soon, but right now it's just surreal. Like I knew I was getting close, but I never expected to ever get it really. Right there, just shooting an egg off screen to hit the red switch to flip the platform. And then shooting the vase so it moves further and you don't have to push it as far. Well, yeah, for such a long time, world record was so far out of reach that I eventually I wrote it off in my mind. Like, if I get it, cool, but I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to focus and, I'm just going to do me. I'm just going to try to improve my run and, just try to become the best that I can be. Like, if I got it, I got it, but I wasn't too worried about it. Yeah, but recently I've been so close. So many good runs. But then they always ended up failing to, one thing or another. But you can't let that get you down. If you want something and you want it bad enough, you'll keep going. And you won't stop until you get it. Yeah, right there, that fight is pretty straightforward. I do 2 horizontal shots, and then I grab 2 slimes, but then I make sure not to approach salvo. And then I do 2 more shots, and then an upshot. And then when I do the upshot, I try to back away. Because otherwise, when the egg hits, the slimes go flying everywhere, and you don't want to get hit. I've lost so many runs to getting hit there, it's kind of embarrassing when it happens. Because you can prevent it, but, if it happens, it happens. And of course, one of the newer things that we recently started doing was resetting between worlds. And that saves you, about 20-ish seconds. If you check the wiki, you can see exact numbers. But yeah, that adds up to about 2 minutes across the entire run. This gate hack right here, you want to line up with the left edge of the pipe. And then I like to grab the flower manually instead of shooting another egg, just because it saves me an egg. That way in the next room, I only have to hit the egg block once. Like you'll see that right here. And then I shuffle 2 eggs, and then I use the egg that was on the ground for this shot. And then when I run past it, I can pick up that egg that I just threw. And now I don't have to hit the egg block at all. Another pipe jump right there. That one saves, about a second or 2, because you skip using the arrow on the side there. And then I make red eggs for skipping the final star cloud in this section, or at this level. And so I'll shoot the flower and then the hidden cloud once to reveal it, and then once for the stars, and that'll put me at 30. And then that allows you to cut out 2 flutters near the end of the level, because then you don't have to flutter over to the final star cloud. And you gotta make sure you get all the coins, otherwise it makes your run invalid. You also gotta duck a couple times to verify that it's actually you, and you weren't trying to be a cheeky bastard and pass off a pass off a task as a real run. But we won't go into that. Right here I bounce on the Shy Guy just to make it up this section a little bit quicker. And right here, that's what I was talking about. Up by the flower there's a star cloud, but we skip it because it's faster. And then the good old Z-Wing bonus skip. Shout out to Z-Wing. You just spit out an enemy or, anything really, and it slows you down just enough to skip the bonus. But if you're too early or too late, you'll get a bonus. I mean, right here, we're already a decent amount ahead. But, that's something that I try not to think about. Like, I don't worry about how far ahead I am or how far behind. Just do the run. Right there, you get hit to get that purple toady, and then we'll use it later to skip the Super Baby Mario star. And then for that Shy Guy pipe bounce, I jump at a specific spot on the ground, and then you'll bounce on the Shy Guy every time. Right here we do 2 single red coin dupes, and that'll let us skip 2 red coins in the mole section in the final screen. And then right there, use a toady to get an extended flutter and go up and over the top. Right here, grab 6 eggs. And then I face backwards so I can grab an egg right here. And then I grab another one from that second baseball guy. Pretty good 2-2 so far. Usually 2-2 is one of those really rough levels where, anything can and will go wrong. But, sometimes everything it works out for you, and 2-2 is nice. Hey, Colt Camp. Welcome. Yeah, pretty good room right there. I had an extra egg from that last mouse enemy. But you want to have full eggs going into the screen. 4 stars right there, and then the mole shot. You want to line up your cursor with the part on the ceiling, and then you shoot just before you reach the sign. I mean, that's the short of it. Obviously, it's a little bit more precise than that, but you get the idea. And then there's an off-screen red coin down there. We'll get that, and we'll peace out. Right there, that last mouse enemy. If you have 2 eggs, you can just sneak in a shot to get the flower, but sometimes he'll jump and he'll block your shot. With 3, though, he won't jump and you're good. It's kind of weird, but surprisingly, it's not random per se, but depending on the egg count, that rat will do different things. And yeah, pretty good 2-2. Like I was saying, sometimes you get good level 2-2s, and other times just kind of spaghetti all over the place. 2-3 is one of my more favorite levels, just because of this first screen right here. It flows so nicely, and it's one of those sections that makes your thumbs feel happy. Like if you play the game, you know what I mean. But it's just so satisfying when you're making eggs, jumping, just doing all this stuff, and doing it well. Right here, if you shoot the flower cloud and then you fall down, it kind of locks the screen in place, and that lets you skip the Baby Mario star. Otherwise, you'd have to wait a little bit. And these foam blocks can be kind of trolly, because it bends the way your eggs ricochet, and so sometimes you'll miss things, or it'll just go slightly off path and you won't get it. Couple red coin shots right there, and we'll peace out. Hey Ethos, thanks for the bits. Right there, I didn't need to grab that star cloud, but I just kind of, during the run, I don't think a whole lot about anything, and so little things like that kind of slip my mind, like if I need stars or if I need, this or that. Like I've lost so many runs just because I wasn't paying attention. I'll miss a star, or I'll be short on stars and forget to grab them. Oh, come on, Gil. No spoilers. But no, he's right. And thank you, Colt Camp. I appreciate that. At this point, 35 seconds ahead, we're getting close to world record pace. We would need 39 seconds to be on it. I like to do that horizontal shot right there and then grab that red egg, just so I have extra eggs. In the upcoming room and this lava key shot, those can go wrong sometimes, and you're going to want backup eggs if you don't have them. And then right here, you could shoot that stair cloud and enter the locked door. It'll save you 32 frames, but I was short on eggs, so I didn't go for it. Or rather, I couldn't go for it. For that crate right there, I like to tongue one of the stars after I ground pound it, just so I don't have to move left to get the stars. And in other levels, you can do that to also reduce lag, because it removes one of the sprites that are on screen. Do the baby lava skip right there. Piece of cake. And we'll do a gate hack. You want to do an upshot after you bounce into the gate, and then you can open it from the other side. And that lets us break that section decently. Because otherwise you have to go up and around, up and over the top, I mean. Skip that mid ring because we don't need it. We're at 30 stars. And then I like to have, you know, at least 3 eggs going into the boss fight, but ideally you have 4 or 5. 3 you can just barely get by, but you'll need to grab 2 bats. And that'll lose you a little bit of time. Oh, right. Good call, Gilcat. Okay, you know me, I've been known to forget about stars. And so I appreciate all the times that you told me, 29 stars. Because that saved me a couple of times. Yeah, pretty good World 2 thus far. Didn't save time, but didn't really lose time there, so, cannot complain. At this point, it's all about just, try not to lose too much time and just hang in there and survive. Hey, Soviet. Welcome to the stream. Oh, missing that shell jump right there is kind of a bummer, but thankfully the backup strat there is pretty quick. Grab stars, grab the key, grab more stars, and we'll enter the train room. In the train room, there's a camera manipulation strat that we do. That way, it'll pan the screen to the left. That way, the upcoming enemies don't hit you. It's right there. You go on one of the left tracks, and then you go back on the main track, and that'll move it just slightly, so it delays those enemies right there. The last Arena 2-5 is pretty fun. It can go horribly wrong, but when it goes right, it's so good, because so many things happen. Like, we'll get an off-screen red coin fly guy right there. Yeah, the bubble flower guy kind of trolled me right there as well. But when that section goes right, it's so satisfying. There's actually a thing you can do with those bubbles where if you upspit them and jump, it'll propel you upward. And so you can use that sometimes depending on the situation, to get up and over those last few obstacles if you get trolled. And right here, there's a red coin shot that you do. It'll get the 3 red coins behind the gate, line up against the wall right there, and you can just barely see them in the corner of the screen. And then that shot right there, the egg goes behind the flower, gets the 2 red coins, and on the ricochet back, it gets the flower. The screen right here is pretty nice too. I like this this upshot coming up right here. You get the red coins off screen. Well, they're not off screen, but you get the coins and then you go into the door real quick. And a little bit of spaghetti right here. I spit that guy left instead of to the right, so I had to backtrack to get him. And backtrack to get all the collectibles. And then we'll do an angled upshot and get that flower as we're rising from bouncing on the arrow. And that'll save you some time. And if you miss it, it's not the end of the world, but it definitely hurts. This flower shot right here is so sick when you get it. Oh, look at that. Through the foam, through that corridor. It's so good. And then a granny strat right there to ground pound the pedals and then jump over. I lost a couple runs to getting hit by that flower trying to jump over, and it's really, it sucks. So, you know, just take the half a second time loss ground pound and, you know, be on your way. Yo, awesome. I'm glad to hear that, man. I hope you stick around. Hope you enjoy what you see. Coming up, we have another red coin duplication. That'll let us skip the really long pole in the last screen. You have to do like 10 something ground pounds to get the red coin at the very bottom. So we skip that. You could do a second dupe and then skip this upcoming red coin pole, but it's a pretty tight window, so I don't go for it. And ground pound the post right here, grab that bullet bill. Grab some stars right there. That'll let you skip the mid ring in the second or in the last screen. Ooh, another pipe jump. Man, I love those. And they save time and look cool. Right there, I did a left-right under that first rock, which stopped the screen from panning or from scrolling right away, which means that the rocks fall a little bit later and lets you just barely sneak right under them. A lot of World 2 is just really straightforward. There's not too many tricks or like crazy egg shots. Granted, there's a few, but it's mostly just, you know, straightforward gameplay. And they're somewhat long levels too. Like World 1 is only 17 minutes, but then you jump up to 22. I mean, it's not too big a jump, but most of these levels are like 3-4 screens, so you know that's something to be aware of, I guess. Right there, I wasn't paying attention. I wanted to use the big egg to shoot to get rid of the tabs, but I wasn't paying attention, so we missed it. And then right there, just falling in that pit right there sets you up just perfectly to skip the bonus. Hey Lucy, well thank you. I know I don't usually do streams with Mike, but I figured now is a pretty good time to do one. Yeah, I definitely like games that are, more vanilla, you could say, in the gameplay. There's not a whole lot of big skips or tricks, at least in the 100% category. We do have a couple other ones like Magical Journey and Meet Bowser, which those get pretty crazy to say the least. And those are definitely the most broken of Yoshi's Island runs. But 100% is just, balls to the wall, 250 APM, fast-paced action the whole way. Like, there's very little downtime. Like, I think that's part of the reason why this category isn't as active, just because of how long and how difficult it is. I guess the same could be said about just the game in general. Warpless is a really long category too. And right there with specific positioning and height, when you transform into the train, if you hold B while you're falling, you'll hit the tracks at an angle and you'll clip them, and that'll save you a couple seconds. And then another pipe jump right there. This time, it just it's like the one in 2-1. It'll warp you to the next room, and that'll save you a couple seconds too. Yo, TRC, welcome, and thank you for the luck. I appreciate it. Right there, do a red egg shot on that cloud to get 2 extra stars in addition to the 5 that are normally with it. And then we just push the vase. You could speed up this section by shooting eggs at the vase, but in 100% you don't really have extra eggs to do that. Like, at best you'll have like 1 or 2. And then you could shoot that other cloud right there to grab another 5, which will let you skip the mid-ring later. But actually that would let you skip the first mid-ring. But that's not a strat or a route that I like doing. Right there, I spit the Shy Guy into the levee thing because it makes it go up a little bit quicker. Like, shooting 2 eggs at it, the second egg, for some reason, it seems to take longer to hit. It's as if, like, spitting the Shy Guy or any enemy will hit it slightly sooner. I haven't really researched why that happens, it just is. That's a lot of what this game is. Like, you learn about like a specific, quirky mechanic, or this thing interacts and does this. It's just like, well, I can't explain it. It just does, such and such thing. You got a pretty good, actually, you got an amazing arrow lift right there. That's actually a lot harder than it looks, just because it's very easy to jump on too late or too early, and then you get a bad angle. I think earlier, or during that run I posted in chat, it was the God Cookie. Some people call it a cookie because it looks like one. And I'm not one to argue. They are right. Now this boss, this guy, he acts all big and bad and scary, but, he's just a pushover. Start off and push him right away, and then after he blows 2 fireballs, you want to jump back until you reach the first line on the brick on the floor, and then you go back and push him again. And then here you want to scroll the screen up, that way the bottom of the screen raises, and then he blows up slightly faster. I think it saves like 15 frames or something. Empty has a comparison video. It's on the wiki page. If you look under, I think it's it's under the swag section, funny enough. Pretty sick world too. Getting anything sub 40 is really good. Hell, even getting, a mid 40 is good too. Now it's time to go to Monkey World. And know, everyone's favorite world. Nothing too much to say. 3-1's one of the better World 3 levels. Like, I don't think there's any bad level, because the way I look at it, you have to be good at all the levels. And I think thinking of any level as bad, or like you hate a specific level, I think that's just gonna hold you back. But it might not, because you realize that you gotta practice all of them. But this upcoming climb section's really nice. It's so satisfying when it goes right. Do a swag backward shot to get that red coin. I'll save a little bit of time there. I like to have 6 eggs going into this final screen, because you use 3 in this screen, and then you'll want a few more for the next level. Yo, Exile, thank you for the bits. And also thanks for the congrats. It's been a long time coming. A lot of grinding, a lot of failed runs, a lot of practice. But, hard work does pay off. If you're willing to stay at it, and if you want it bad enough, you'll do whatever it takes. Or at the very least, every time you get knocked down, you'll get back up. You'll get up and try one more time. Right now I'm using a Guitar Hero mic. One of those ones that, I don't know how the quality is, but, it's the best I got. So right there, a lot just happened. I did a couple red egg star shots. And you want 20 stars, that way you can skip the red tulip. And then you also grab the mid-ring and you're good to go. Right here, I wait for the screen to stop moving, and then once it stops moving, I jump up and I grab, I think 3 or 4 eggs, and then you go on. If the screen is moving when you jump, it'll jump with you, and then it'll reset back to its original position. And if it does that, the screen will be too low, which will make shooting those clouds for the star and the flower a little bit tougher. Yeah, I don't think the mic or the audio quality isn't that bad. I've heard it myself. Obviously, it'd be better if I had like a professional mic or a Blue Yeti. I know that's what everyone uses. I don't use it too much, and luckily I had it laying around, so I'm able to use it. This first screen of 3-3 is really fun. It has such a nice flow to it. Do a backward shot to grab that flower. And it also just, it looks cool, because, you're going up and then you're going down. You can bounce eggs along the water. What you do is a slightly angled shot, and then you jump, and it'll skip across the water. If you do it right, you can pick up the 2 red coins in that section. Oops. So missing that cloud shot's not too bad. We can do another shot to get it. And then for that red coin, I jump and do a neutral. And it bounces and gets it. I think 2-Stop told me to do that shot. So shout out to 2-Stop for that shot. Right there, okay, I messed that up a little bit, but I start holding down and descending right as I would pass the red shy guy. And if you do it right, you can just fly in smoothly. Submarine section, everyone's favorite. It's too bad we have to go to this room for a red coin. I guess it's not too bad, and the submarine controls way better than the mole tank does. And then in the next section, I slow down a little bit to stop the screen from scrolling. And then I go up some and then start moving to the right. That'll make sure the mace spawns in later, and then you can go underneath it quick. And that'll save you a couple seconds too. I think Poir found that strat. I'm actually surprised no one had found it prior to him. And so far the enemies have been pretty nice. The frogs and the fish are random. And so sometimes, you know, you'll be doing something and they'll just jump out and hit you. And that red coin shot, or that red coin I went down there for, you can do an egg shot on it, but it's kind of precise. You just go for it, and if you get it, you get it. And if not, you know, just go get it manually. Right there, shoot through the stairs to get that last red coin and get on out of here. Pretty good 3-3. Only one thing really went wrong, aside from missing that water shot. So for that first shot, I line it up above the stair cloud guide thing, and then I do another shot that's pretty similar to it to break the spikes, and then you spit the shy guy into the cloud. And in this room, you can do an egg shot where you do a neutral just before you fall into the water, and you get that first red coin. I went for it, but sadly missed it. Of course, it's not that big of a deal, but you know, it's one of those things where you go for it, and if you don't get it, you know, it's fine. Here you want 6 eggs going into the next room, because you have to kill 2 crabs, and they take 3 shots each. Dodge the fish there. They can jump out randomly, like I was saying, and you know, they can really try to ruin your day. Same with that one too. Get 20 stars, and then that'll let you skip the first of the 2 mid-rings. Grab 6 eggs before you leave, and then be on our way. That shot right there, just a neutral to clear out the foam. And then another neutral. Then you want to try to flutter above the spike, but you know, you don't want to drop too low and get hit. And that shot right there, there's 3 red coins. The third one's off screen, but with a good shot you can get all 3 of them like that. Here we're going to flutter over the water and skip the pinwheel. And then also skip the mid-ring because it's fat. Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, sometimes that happens. The hitbox on the mid-rings are kind of weird. Sometimes it'll just barely clip your toe. But ideally, you skip that one because there's one in the second to last screen that you can't skip. And so you want to have as many stars as you can before that. You're right, I do that backward shot instead of an up shot for the flower, just because the slime can drop down and kill the egg as you shoot. And good luck with the frogs. Sometimes, you know, they'll try to snatch Baby Mario, but we lucked out that time. Now it's time for everyone's favorite boss fight. Instead of Kamek making the frog big, he's gonna make Yoshi small. And then, well, you know what happens next. For this boss fight, I aim at the star counter right there, and then you want to do 6 shots. Well, you can kill him in 6 shots, but sometimes if your aim is a little high or a little low, you won't get it. I'm not too sure how it works exactly. It could be based on I think it's based on the position of where you hit the uvula thing. But I got 7 shots right there. It's not too bad, but you know, you want 6. There is a 5-shot method, but it's way too risky for 100% because you can very easily get hit. And if you get hit there, you're out of options. You'd have to die and respawn. Pretty good 3-4. At this point, we are now on world record pace. But up to this point, I've had like 7 or 8 runs on world record pace, so it doesn't get to me too much. I just ignore splits. I don't look at, being 43 seconds ahead or anything like that. 'Cause you don't want to psych yourself out and make yourself more nervous than you already will be. This first screen can be pretty trolly with all the foam that you have to deal with. Again, it's one of those things where you just go for it and you just hope it works out. 'Cause that section can go really bad. Yo. Hey, Angriff. I upspit the monkey right there to get the star cloud a little bit quicker. I do 2 ground pounds, shoot a neutral, grab the coins, and then spit a seed at the flower, and then we peace out. So like I was saying, so much stuff happens that it's hard to do like a play-by-play commentary. But, that's one of the more charming and unique things about this category. So much stuff happens so quickly. Right there, I count 1, 2, 3 trees, and then on the 3rd one I jump. I believe it's a speed oscillation thing where it sets your speed slightly higher, which lets you skip the bonus. Yep, that's me, alright. I'm talking. That was a good 3-5. It can definitely go really wrong really quick. And here we got a big time save, 25 seconds. The last PB, I missed the switch jump. And then I also missed the backup shots. Right there, after bouncing on the spring, I go up a little bit higher. That way I make sure the rat spawns. Then I can use them to bounce up here and skip the stairs. Do a shot for that second red coin there, and we'll transform into the mole. The mole controls horribly at best. Like, I don't know, it's weird. Sometimes it works out for you, and other times it just... I don't even know, man. It'll troll you if it wants to troll you. Yeah, it basically just does what it wants. Right there's upspit the lantern guy, get the star cloud, and then ground pound into the pipe. If you ground pound into a pipe, it'll skip the landing animation and save you some frames. And then right there, the switch jump. Yeah, so good. So good. You jump off the switch and snipe the flower. There is a backup shot that you can do where you can jump and then with a precise shot you can get the flower. But you don't want to do that unless you have to. Plus doing that switch jump lets you skip hitting the switch and then going all the way around. Hey, Videric. Yep, sure did. We won't spoil anything, but I may or may not have gotten a PB today. Right here, already getting quite the lead, a minute ahead. But as always, I'm not paying attention to that, just focus on the run. right there, I upspit the monkey to the flower, and then I re-grab him and upspit him into the switch cloud right there. I missed it, but optimally you spin him into the cloud. Another submarine section. I think that's one of the reasons why people don't really like World 3. Because you've got, what, 3 or 4 vehicle transformations? I mean, they're not all bad, but, you know, nobody likes vehicles. And then right there at the end of the submarine section, I shoot the red fish, and then you can damage boost through them. Well, not a damage boost, but while it's stunned, you can travel through them. Oh, wait. I see what you're saying. Well, no, it's on normal speed. That's probably fine. I'm restreaming this directly from YouTube, so that could be part of it. Or it could be something weird with, you know, screen or window capturing YouTube, or also could be from, you know, exporting from Twitch as a highlight to YouTube. I don't know. It's not a big deal though, but I do see what you're saying. It seems to be like running a little bit faster. Right here I grabbed 4 eggs. I had 2 already, but you want to have 6. And then you take the yellow shy guy with you, so after you do that shot, you can have 6 eggs. And now we have 5 going into 3-8. Hey Kovu, thank you for the host. Maybe. This run may have PB'd. Or it might be a PB. You'll just have to stick around and find out. Pretty good World 3 thus far. Got the big time save in 3.6 and just playing really consistent all throughout. Another pipe jump right there. And then you want to do 2 ricochets to get stars from this guy, and then you do 3 or I think it's 4 or 5 actually. No, it's 4. And you get stars. I missed 1 shot, but you know, it's no big deal. This level, you definitely go through a lot of eggs. I mean, a lot. Like, we're gonna get 6 here, and we're gonna use them all. Almost all of them. And then recently, Trix came up with a strat right here where you do 2 shots. Where you would get the red coins, and then you would go to the other side and get the flower. I missed it, but that saves a couple seconds. And right here, you can get a little bit of a boost on the water. And then I do an upshot for the flower. And then coming up, you can stun a piranha plant, and then you can shoot an egg through him and get the flower. It's just barely off screen, but you can see it. And then these big cage ghosts, if you shoot them early, you can get them in 1 shot. It'll stop them during the growing phase, and they'll shrink back down. You do 2 of them. And then here you want to grab 6 eggs. You can get away with 5, but I like to have an extra egg just in case. Because you have to do another one of those ghost skip shots. And then another shot on a green piranha later. Plus I like having 2 eggs for the boss fight. You want to have a backup just in case. Yeah, like I was saying, you can shoot the green piranha and then damage boost right through him. Good boss shot. Got it pretty early. The text's in Japanese, but I'm sure you all know what that says. That's a developer intended Easter egg. which is pretty cool because that fight normally is like 3 or 4 minutes. And it's pretty awful because you have to wait for him to spawn enemies so you can get eggs. And then you have to, you'll shoot him, and then while he's stunned, he'll do like this charging at you sort of thing, attack. But yeah, it's a long boss fight. Thankfully, we can skip it though. Here I like to do the first 3 extras early just because they're dangerous levels. Like 3E, there's, for a good chunk of the level, there's no floor. And so if you fall, you're in the pit. You're done. And with all the monkeys and seeds that they're spitting, it's hectic. Right there, if you tap left while you're on the pinwheel, it'll push you through that wall, and you can clip through it. Right there, grab the 2 crates, grab all the stars, we're getting 30, we're good. I was scared right there when I bonked because it pushes you down, and there was a good chance I could have missed the platform or ran off of it. You want to have 2 eggs leaving this level just for 2E. That way you can do the star room pretty quick. And then there, the bonus skip is you duck near the end of the platform, just before the end of it, and then you run to the bonus. It's the same deal as some of the other ones, where it's a position distance-based bonus skip, which sets you, it sets you up so you have just the right amount of speed to skip the bonus. You do a neutral, and then you jump to make the shot a little bit sharper, and then you'll get a red, or you'll get two stars from it. That room right there is somewhat new with that star shot. You end up skipping the crate, and that'll save you a couple seconds. That's a new thing Poir came up with. The bonus skip here is kind of, I don't know, it's easy to mess it up because you don't really have much to work with. You want to stand in the middle of the platform, and then once you reach the horizontal part of the guide, you want to do just a little bit of a short jump. And then with, as always, just enough speed to let you skip the bonus. Like if you jump too high or if you jump too soon, you'll go too slow, and then you'll get a bonus. Oof, that right there, man. Going into 1-8. That probably cost 7 or 8 seconds. It's definitely a bad feeling when it happens, but thankfully I didn't have any eggs going into the level because I would have lost them when I exited 1-8. Right here, just kind of hope for good bats. You want to bounce on 3 or 4 of them to get high enough, and then with enough height you can skip the auto scroller. Otherwise it's like 3 or 4 minutes regularly. Plus I like to have 4 eggs for all the stars and the flowers and everything. Flutter across, go up and over. At 4 eggs you got 2 flower shots, 2 cloud shots, and then you're good. You can skip Poochie, and then you want to flutter across the lava here under the spike, but it's pretty risky. I wouldn't recommend going for it. And then at the end there, I shoot the final red coins and then jump off of Poochie right near the end. Fun fact, it's impossible to get a bonus here, but if you were to hack the game to give you a bonus, it'll glitch out the goal ring sprite, or the goal sprite. So they made it impossible to get a bonus. So even if it's like stopped on the flower, it'll eventually move a tick, and then you'll be good. Ooh, another pipe jump. Yeah, World 4 is where things pick up. Granted, each level in each world, the difficulty ramps up. Like, I think the game as a whole has a really nice difficulty curve. Back in that cave, you want to do 2 red egg shots to get stars. But the stars are random and, you know, it's easy to miss them. But as long as you have 20 stars going in the next room, you're good, because there's a mid-ring. And pretty big time save here, 27 seconds. The previous run, I think I died in this fuzzy room, because I was fuzzied and then the platforms are all waving. It's really easy to clip through it. That's why I did the flutter right there, and you just kind of hope that you don't clip through the platforms. Because when it happens, it's such a bad feeling. Let's hit the shy guy, shoot the foam. Yeah, this part, that was kind of gross. I did the shot a little too far to the right, so it didn't clear all the foam. And then I got stuck in there, even missing the second shot on the foam. But if you run right and then run to the left, you get enough speed to run out of there. You know, I'm a little behind, but I skipped the second to last Baby Mario star, because that way the transformation will end early and then you won't waste time waiting at the goal ring before you transform. Yeah, Lord Knob's right. Well, maybe not tomorrow night, but soon I'm gonna get the 227. It's so close. But just gotta stick to the process. Practice, runs, you know the drill. Yeah, we got the big time save there, a minute ahead. Almost 227 pace. 4-2 is a pretty cool level. Do a couple shots to get the flower right there, and then hit the POW. You want to get 5 stars. And then I tongue the second to the last star just because it's more convenient that way. Right here, I like to have 4 eggs, that way you can shoot the foam and then hit the switch a little bit sooner. I think I had 4, but I spaced out and didn't realize it. Right here, as soon as you hit the coins, you shoot and back away. And then you move forward and shoot a neutral and grab those 2. It's one of the more, I don't know what you call it, but that room's really cool. I like that room. You're just falling and shooting all these coins and it looks swag. Nothing much really to say. That previous room is kind of scary, I guess, because there's been a couple times, well, at least one time for sure, that I fell into the pit trying to get out of that room. For these directional arrows, if you jump and shoot, the egg tends to die, or rather the arrow just, I don't know how to really put it, it doesn't work. Like the arrow will just, it takes the egg, but then it just breaks, I guess. I don't know, it's one of those weird things that you get used to. So yeah, you don't want to jump and shoot into those arrows. The beginning right here, the shell jump. It's a somewhat new strat as well. We used to wait for the balloons, but it's quicker to do a shell jump. Shout out to Turtle for that one. And then the helicopter skip set up here. We'll spit 1 bullet bill, bounce on him, grab the second. And then we'll bounce on the other one. And grab the coins in the mid-ring. Now let you skip the helicopter. That saves about 4 or 5 seconds. Then it looks cool too, and it's not too tough. Right here, do the Andy Kuma shot. One neutral and then a backwards neutral to get 2 red eggs. And then you use them for stars right here. And then each star will save you 8 frames on the mid-ring. So like each tick on the mid-ring will cost you 8 frames. So you know you want to have as many stars as you can when you enter those. And then right here I count 1, 2, 3, 4 signs. I duck to drop my momentum, and then I scroll the screen up and then upshot the final flower. We'll do 6 flutters here and shoot the red coins. And grab an enemy for the bonus skip. Yo, Young Covington, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. Welcome to the... I don't really have a name, but welcome to the sub club, I suppose. You now have one of the... No, not one of the... You have the happiest Yoshi emote on Twitch. So yeah, being a minute and 40 ahead, damn. We're already on 227 pace, and that's fucking... It's crazy. I've only been on 227 pace a couple times. I lucked out getting stars from both those stair clouds. So that was nice. See, I was saying earlier that the mid-rings they'll clip you. You know, just the back of your heel, or, you know, the back of Mario's hat. I wanted to avoid it and then get it after the second room, but that's no big deal. Right here, in a bad spot, I have no egg, so I grab that egg through the floor. And then we'll shoot the flower cloud over to the left, and then we'll throw an egg off that platform thing, and then get it with a backward shot. It's swag, and it looks, and it saves time. Unfortunately, though, I was short on eggs, so I had to grab that coin manually. No big deal, though. And I know what you're thinking. Go for bucket skip. Do bucket skip. No, never. That only saves a few seconds anyway. It's totally not worth it. If it was earlier in the run, sure. Like if it was in like 1-4, you know, maybe I'd go for it. Right there, I flutter and then do I think it's a neutral or slightly angled. Grab the 2 red coins. Grab the flower, and then I bounce on the sniffet to skip using the arrow lift. And I want at least 1 egg, but I grab 2, or no, you want 2 eggs. So you can shoot the cloud right here. And then you have 1 for the next room. Damn. Nav with the call-outs. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to do the message block skip or the jumping on it. It's so silly because it's frame perfect. And there's no sense in making the run harder than it needs to be. It's already hard enough. Like, I don't want to reset over something like that. That saves, you know, half a second, maybe 3/4 of a second. This room went really well, though. We got all the foam shots really quick. Damage boost through the piranha while he's stunned. Yeah, you can skip that bucket right there. It's a pretty precise flutter, and then you have to shoot the flame so it doesn't hit you. But like I said, it's not worth it. Now, for a second, I almost tried to take a drink of my mic. I'm really thirsty, and I was taking the cap off my tea jug. I got a gallon of green tea. But since I'm holding the mic, I almost try to drink it, and that's awkward. Right there, you could skip the mid-ring if you had an egg. you would just shoot the milds and then go underneath it. And then you grab a mild through the floor or the ceiling right there and go through the door. Grab the last red coin right there. And then you want to get this last mid-ring. Or at least the one before it. Regardless, you want 30 stars. Oh no, TRC. Thankfully, I've never done that, but I've seen people, they'll go to hit their vape without the cap on and they'll burn their lip. And that's never any good. Right there. I remember in chat, Zed said something about, are you at 29 stars? And so I checked real quick. It's better to be safe than sorry, especially when you're on good pace and, in World 4. You really don't want to make an oversight and be short on stars because you thought you had them all. Or if you blank and you forget about it. Yeah, there is a strat there where you can shoot the milds when they're in the second to last form, and you can do a triple where you ground pound 3 of them. But it's one of those things where that's also pretty risky, so I don't go for it. Because if you get hit, then you have to get stars, and that's ugly. Right here, I want 4 eggs for the rest of the level. And here we'll do another one of those red coin duplication tricks. We'll do a double here so we get 2 extra coins. Before we went down the hill, there was a section to the far right where it has those 2 coins, but we can skip those. Then we'll go up and over this pole and we'll drop down. That's funny, they wanted you to take the rock the whole way, but nah, we don't need it. We're gonna skip the rock and do a shell jump, get up there. Ground pound the petals off of the flowers so it doesn't hit you. And then do 2 egg shots to get 4 red stars there. Or red stars? Whatever, I'll go with it. Another shell jump. I think skipping the rock's probably one of the oldest strats in the game. Like, I remember seeing a video on Speed Demo's archive of this level, and the route's mostly been the same, where we skip the rock and go over that big pole. And then the bonus skip right there, you want to push against the last wall, and then do a Z-wing, where you spit an enemy or something into the goal ring. Shout out to Z-Wing too. He really he helped 100% a lot, because that means that bonus skips are consistent and we can pretty much skip them all that way. Another one of those levels with a couple more red coin dupes. There is 4 in this level. Right there, I wanted to shoot the shell so it clears out the foam early, but I missed the shot. And then here, just kind of spaghetti all over. So I figured, dupe the coins, and then I'll just shoot the foam. Oh, hey, Panic. No, actually, you're right on time. This could be the world record, or at least a PB. Here's another red coin dupe. This time, it's just 1. There's a screen that we skip entirely. It's got 5 red coins, I think. It's towards the end of this level, or this screen. Yeah, if you guys were here, I think it was yesterday, or the day before that, I lost a 2:27 pace run at the end of 4-6 to the last red coin dupe. It was such a bad feeling. The crab right here is random, and the jumping fish are random too. Didn't get good luck, and the crab started moving away from me, so I couldn't ground pound him. Here's another red coin dupe. This time it's going to be a double dupe. You spit them off screen and then you scroll the screen to the point where the shy guy was. And then when you re-scroll him or respawn him, he'll have another coin. Hope I explained that good enough. At the very least, you kind of get the idea. You can always check the wiki page for a better explanation. But yeah, the red coin dupe is a really helpful trick too. We do that in like 4 levels? 5 levels. I think it's 5 levels. But yeah, I couldn't even tell you how much time altogether that saves. Could be upwards of, 3-4 minutes. That would actually be really cool to see if someone were to make a comparison or just figure out how much time altogether it saves. Right there, just upspit the shell, grab the flower, and then I grab another shell so I could shell jump here. I think I missed it though. Yeah. It's easy to miss those shell jumps if you're too close to it, or if you hit it while it's in midair instead of you hit it on the side instead of getting on top of it and bouncing. Right here, I try to get as many eggs as I can for the final screen. And unfortunately, I got hit there, but luckily I'm still at 20 stars, so it's not a big deal. We'll get a mid-ring here in a second, and then we'll be back at 30. There is a route that you could do where you do a couple red egg shots as well as getting extra stars, and you skip the mid-ring, and then you would go up through that gate. You would do a gate hack and then do another red coin or red egg shot to get stars. But that's one of those things that are pretty risky to do, so I just opt for the consistent thing, which is just take the mid-ring. Right there, just jump off of the platform, grab the coins and flower, and then it's one of those speed oscillation things. Your speed's slightly higher, and it's slightly higher, and so it lets you skip the bonus. I'll be honest, my throat's starting to hurt. Doing all this talking. It's not too bad, but my throat hurts a little bit. Right there, I did a neutral shot to hit the Koopa shell early and then get the flower early as well. Right here, I want as many eggs as I can, and then I take the shell with me. And if you time your egg shot well enough, you can shoot the block and then you can run underneath the spike. And then if I still had the shell and didn't fall in the lava, you can run against the shell and then you'll have invincibility frames, which will let you get through the spike. Kind of a poor explanation, but that's the gist of it. I might upload it to YouTube. I don't see why not. That's not a bad idea. I'm sure some people would appreciate it. So right here, I ground pound the 2 mills, eat 2, and then I'll do 1 shot to clear the rest, and then an up shot to get the red coin. Right there, bonk at that pillar, which will give me an auto flutter, which lets me clear the spikes a lot easier. It might be a little bit slower, but it's the safest method to get through there. Right here, do 1 up shot, and you do the angled up shot, so Yoshi turns around after the shot, and then you face right and do another neutral, and you clear out that room really quick and easy. Yeah, I would have gone for the mid-ring animation skip, but I wasn't paying attention to my egg count, and so I didn't go for it. But then I realized, like, oh hey, I have enough eggs, and then I got the star cloud after. But the mid-ring animation skip, pretty much you shoot a cloud. It doesn't matter if it's a star cloud or what kind of cloud, but you do that and then you go through the mid-ring. And then when you do that, that'll skip the animate. Well, it's not really an animation, but the game will freeze when you go through the mid-ring. And so you can run through the mid-ring, still get the stars, and then you can go on about your business. Right here, it takes 4 shots to knock Hook Bill on his back. Then you want to ground pound him as soon as possible. After the second shot, when he's standing on his 1 foot, he won't be able to hit you. And so when you go to do that 4th shot, you can be touching him and you won't get hit. Boom, blast off. You want to do a ground pound right before he hits the ground, and then that'll launch Yoshi way up into the sky. It's actually a little bit slower than doing it optimally, because you have to wait for Yoshi to come back down, I think. Or I forget how exactly it's slower, but it's faster than not doing it because you ground pound him before he lands. The best variation of blast off is where you blast off but Yoshi stays on the ground. Then the keyhole animation will go by as quick as it can. The thing is, you don't want to do that when you're on the right side of the screen or on the right side of Hook Bill, because that'll cost you more time. Alright, going into World 5. I'm pretty good pace. Still 227 pace, but as always, I'm not thinking about that. Just focus on the run. Another double dupe right there. That'll let you skip 1 coin in the cave room, and then 1 coin that's in a room that you never see. It's in the final screen, and you go in through a pipe. But it's way out of the way, and we'll skip it if we can. Yeah, no, I was right. The best blast off is when you soft lock. Yeah, if you blast off and get hit, or if you reclaim Baby Mario when you blast off, it can soft lock the game. Not permanently, but for like a couple of minutes. Right there, a few precise egg shots to get all the coins. Normally you want to use the intended way is to use the helicopter to get those red coins, but we can skip it. Yeah, if you check out the Yoshi wiki page at yoshi.science, you can see the blast off comparison that I was talking about. Right there, I spit the penguin into the other penguin and then grab the bat so I have another egg. Unfortunately, I got hit, so I'm going to need to get stars in this next room. But fortunately, there's a star cloud right here. Right there, do an egg shot to get the red coin Shy Guy before he flies in on screen. And I got trolled right here. This guy didn't fly in until way late. I'm not sure what caused that. It may have been the stars. It may have been the screen position. But thankfully, he did fly in, because otherwise that would have been GG. Do a backward shot right there. And here you want to run through that half of that last section of snow, which will slow you down just enough to skip the bonus. Had a pretty big time save right there, but because I got hit and that Shy Guy trolling me didn't quite get all of it, but we'll still save time. And at this point in the run, usually where I'm getting pretty nervous. I think I usually start getting nervous in World 4, but as the run goes on, it gets, progressively worse. Back there was an egg in the tree, so you up-tongue it, and then you can get it down. Do a perfect flutter to skip using a snowball, and then I also take the penguin with me just in case as a backup. There is a strat where you skip the cloud in this room, and you would also skip the mid-ring, because there's 3 or 4 star clouds, but that's risky. I used to do that, but I lost a run or 2 to doing that, so I was like, yeah, no. We'll just do the safe, consistent thing. We'll take both mid-rings. You probably lose, 3 or 4 seconds versus skipping it, but it's not a big deal. Right there, you get a little bit of a boost from a snowman. You want to do a left-right as he runs into you, and you can bounce on him on your way, passing him. Hope that makes sense. Shoot that flower that's off screen. We'll do another one right here. In this bonus skip coming up, we don't really have a real good setup like any of the other levels, just because bouncing on the penguins, the goal ring will load in differently each time, even just slightly. So instead, you want to have a penguin in your mouth, put Yoshi's nose up to the bottom flower on the goal ring, and then you do a pause buffer. And when the roulette is in between a flower and the blank dot, that's when you want to jump in. You want to jump in about halfway, and that'll let you skip the bonus. And that could also be applied to any other level too. Right there, grab the fire, blow out the ice block, and grab the fire and get the flower. Base penguin helping me out right there. When is dying to ice spikes? That was yesterday, and hopefully that is never again. Dying at the spikes in the next screen is, oh man, it's awful. God awful. So as Baby Mario, you want to jump off of the ice because that'll give you a slight speed boost. It's the same deal as jumping off of slopes where it gives you a slightly higher speed. And then also as Baby Mario, if you jump off of slopes, it'll give you a speed boost as well. Right here, I'm going to grab the penguin just to be safe. There was one time where he hit me and I died. So I grab him and I spit him out. Those spikes right there, that's what I was talking about. You want to do a somewhat precise egg shot before you run into the spikes, then duck just in case. Because it's a really bad feeling if you run into those spikes and die. We're not going to talk about it, but that may have happened to me yesterday. Right here, ski room is pretty simple. You want to hit the first rock, and then you get both those red coins. Jump that second one and jump again for the flower. Jump that rock, final red coin, final flower, and then jump right there at the end of the slope to give you a slight boost. Now what you could do, you count 3 coins and then you jump, and it makes this room slightly faster. But as I was saying, yesterday I jumped slightly late and I died in that room. Like 5-3 was not being nice to me. And then here, jump at the second to last slope. You want to avoid getting hit by the bomb, but if you do, it's alright. Because then you don't have to do any jumps or anything. Granted, it is slightly faster to jump over these slopes and rocks, but it's consistent to do it that way. And for the bonus skip, you want to jump as soon as you touch the left side of the trunk of the tree, and then jump into the goal ring. Going into the tree like that will slow you down just enough. And then coming up next is everyone's favorite level. You know what I'm talking about. Get your blessed RNGs ready and your 5-4 skip emotes. This is the point where it'll either make or break the run. I've lost so many runs to 5-4 skip, it's not even funny. But with each run you get better, you get stronger, and then you also get more used to losing runs, so it doesn't hurt as much. Obviously it still sucks to lose a run to 5-4, but it's one of those tricks where it saves so much time that you have to go for it. Do an upshot right there, clear the spikes, get the flower. Right here at a specific position, that second or that last brick, you do a neutral and you get both coins. Right here you grab 2 eggs, do a neutral, and then eat the last slug and snipe the flower. You can jump on those slugs while you're on the spikes, but you don't want to wait too long because otherwise it'll pop and you'll fall. And at this point I'm pretty damn nervous. Being a minute 45 ahead going into 5-4 skip, you know it's all or nothing. I'm pretty sure at the end of 5-3 I dip my hand in some water and try to get the sweat off my hands. I got a little cup of water and a towel next to me just for that reason. You can shoot those red coins through the stairs, and you want to have 3 eggs going into 5-4. Going into the next room, I mean. You want a 4th egg so you can do a shot on that red coin, but it's not necessary. If you get it, you do, but if not, no big deal. Always grab that mid ring just in case. If you want to be a badass, you can skip it and save, 2 seconds, but if you mess up 5-4 or mess up the skip, you're done. Right there, you could jump off of that pink block early, do a perfect flutter, and save a little bit of time. But at this point, I'm too nervous to actually do that. So here, everyone knows 5-4 skip. This is a trick where you skip the platform. You gotta snipe a flower, 2 flowers, 3 coins. You gotta do 2 red coin dupes, and you gotta manipulate the bats. In total, it's 50 flutters. Each flutter, you have a 9-frame window to not lose height. Here I do a double dupe because I missed the first red coin shot. That'll put me in a good position where I'm not low on coins. I take the Shy Guy with me, upspin him to refresh the timer. I go to the right to set up my position so when I load the bats on screen, they'll be in a good position for me. And then when I when I load the bats on screen, I drop low so they'll go to where my position is. So I'll have them set up for this section. Bounce on the Shy Guy, get up and over the spikes, get the last red coins, and just wait. Just wait. And we've done it. 5-4 skip. Easily the toughest trick in the game. It took me over 1,000 attempts to ever get it once. It really forces you to master fluttering. Hell, even right now I'm getting nervous just watching the run. I felt my heart rate spike there. And even then, you've got quite the boss strat kill right here. You want to go off screen, do a neutral, and then run back, and that'll get the egg inside of Sluggy and then hit his heart. Otherwise, you have to go through that big gel layer, whatever that stuff is. 1, 2, 3, 4 shots. With a very specific positioning. You can find lineups on the wiki, but that spot right there, that's the first one. You want to run to that spot, do a neutral, run right. Then you go back, move a half block to the left, do it again, and rinse and repeat. Each time you move 1/2 a block to the left, or back. And thankfully, we're out of there. Didn't lose too much time. We actually was a second or 2 off of gold. 5-4, man. That'll make or break the run. If you get it second try, it's not too bad. Third try, it's kind of but you gotta get it first try. It saves over a minute compared to not doing it. And at this point, I'm nervous as hell. I just did 5-4 skip, got a perfect sluggy fight, and this is where the run actually begins. Not too much to say about this. When you go through that pipe, you want to hold B so you get a slow fall, which will let you fall onto the platform. And here you could skip the mid-ring, but it's kind of risky. I just wanted to get it just to be safe. What you would do, you would skip this one and then get a star cloud at the end of this room. And then when you get the mid-ring in the next room, you only need 5 stars instead of 10. And recently we came up with a strat to skip this helicopter completely, but doing that after 5-4, good luck. I definitely don't want to do it, but it saves you like 4 or 5 seconds. So you can go for it if you want. Right there, if you tongue after any transformation, you regain control of Yoshi instead of doing a falling duck and then regaining control. I grab the mid-ring, or I grab the star cloud and skip the mid-ring. Another one of those gate hacks, and we'll be on our way. Right here, since I fell off of the red egg block, the screen was too low, so the green piranha didn't shoot a spike thing at me. So I had to grab the Goonie right there for the bonus skip. And then I messed up the camera right there. It didn't scroll up, so I missed the flower the first time, so I had to scroll up manually. And at this point, you know, you can take a breath or two. You know, you have time to breathe. The next level is an auto scroller, and you know you've got a few minutes to just relax. Nothing really to say about this section. I like to make red eggs here so I can get stars. But I'm pretty sure you don't even have to do this. It's just something to do. Something to keep me entertained, keep you guys entertained. Right here, those are just neutral shots against the pipe. And then it bounces off the tulip and it lets you reclaim them easy. Shoot Lakitu, shoot Piranha, Flower, Star Cloud. Already we're at 23 stars. And normally I would, you know, be spazzing out with the APM and the tech skill, but I don't want to do any of that. Like, I just wanted to get the run done with. But yeah, if I wasn't on good pace, maybe I'd, you know, be swagging out a little bit more. But here, just being calm, cautious, just chilling. You can also do ricochet shots against that pipe to hit the chicken to get red stars. Again, you don't have to, but it's just one of those things that you can do just because. The thing is, you want to have 30 stars when you finish the auto scroller, because the room after has a mid-ring, and you can skip it. So yeah, there's actually nothing to talk about here. I'm just gonna mute the mic for a little bit and let my voice rest. Okay, right here, I do a bunch of tongues just in case a Gussie tries to fly from that side and hit me. I could have skipped the mid-ring, but I just want to be safe. Right here, you only want 1 or 2 eggs, because if you have too many eggs, the Shy Guy won't jump out of the pipe, and then you can't bounce on him. Right there, do an upshot, grab the red coin. And then we're going to grab this Gussie for later. And then, usually you want to shoot those 2 piranhas before they grow, because that way it'll prevent any lag. And as always, do a Z-Wing bonus skip. There is a position-based bonus skip you can do there on that last cloud, but you only want to do that unless you have to. Or, yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, we're back into the run. As always, nervous as all hell. I mean, we're a minute 50 ahead, and you know, heartbeat through the roof, or heart rate. Nervous, shaking, hands are sweaty, knees weak, palms spaghetti. These falling rocks can be kind of trolly. If you jump at the wrong time, you won't get a jump because you'll actually be slightly above the rock because it's falling from underneath you. If I remember correctly, it's only one frame where you won't get the jump because it's falling. Still though, if you're not careful, you can fall and die. And those are the same rocks back in 2.7, but in 2.7 it's not too big a deal. So this level actually has 6 flowers. There's a flower way off screen. I don't know if they forgot to take it out or they just were too lazy and didn't care. But that lets you skip another really slow screen. Remember, after that yellow platform ride, there was a pipe up to the left. That's where the flower would be. But since there's that one off screen, we can snipe it and we can go on about our business. Another piranha skip right there. Shoot them as we fall and go through. We really lucked out with there being 6 flowers in this level, because that other room is really slow. You'd probably waste, a couple minutes. See, right there, that little platform, I didn't get a jump because it was falling. So I do a flutter right there to make sure that I have enough time on the next platform. Because otherwise you won't have enough time to make it, and you'll be too low and you couldn't grab the coins. So yeah, 5.7 is definitely a scary level. A lot of pits, those rocks are trolly. And then a little bit before, right after you went through the gate, you bounce on the penguin, and then when you flutter underneath the rock, it'll delay your extended flutter. And that'll let you get on top of the rocks and do a little sequence break. Oh, and I didn't mention earlier because it wasn't relevant, but 3E has 21 red coins. What the theory is that they included an extra one just because with all the monkeys and all the seeds and sprites, you can easily despawn a red coin. Those are the only 2 levels that are like that. Every other level only has, just the minimum amount of collectibles. This gold bullet bill right here, I eat him and then scroll the screen up and back down so he loads in fresh, you could say, and that way it'll fire a bullet bill right at me, and then you can bounce up, get the stuff. Right there, upspit the red shy guy to get up here. Right after the first window is when you upspit. The cannonballs right there are somewhat random. Sometimes you'll get hit, sometimes you won't. But it's not too big a deal because you can get extra stars. Plus there's also a mid-ring in the last screen. With this route I do, at that first mid-ring I did a red egg shot to get 2 stars. And then I also did a red egg shot on the star cloud. And then I had another red egg from tonguing it after I broke the blocks, which I wanted to use on the flower in that raven room, which would put me at 30 so I could skip the mid-ring. Right there you want to flare into the train bubble, and then like we did back in 2.8, you want to clip the train tracks. You hold B while you fall, which will give you a little bit slower of a fall, and then you hit the track on the side and you'll clip off of it. And that lets you sequence break this room. Otherwise you gotta go around and that's slow. You probably save like 10 seconds or so. This last section is really cool. It's really fast, bunch of jumps. It's very satisfying when it goes right. Right there, jumped a little too early, got hit, but thankfully I had an egg and there's a star cloud right there, so we're good. So this boss fight is random. Whether Raphael goes left or right, or even stands still is completely random. So best case scenario, he'll go left, which means you can run right and get him with the first post. So yeah, this is another one of those times where you want to get your blessed RNG ready, or your RNG please. I won't spoil it, but yeah, this boss fight was not the best. We did get a good pattern right there, but I missed the ground pound. And then I missed, oh no, not that one. But I do miss another one. It was a really good pattern too, but being this late into the run, 227 pace, I mean, in-game nerves are definitely a thing. But thankfully, you know, I don't think the boss fight in my PV was good either. So we lucked out and we're not going to lose too much time. And the chances of Raphael standing still, I believe, are 1 out of 264 or something like that. So there is a chance where at the start he'll just stand still and you can ground pound him, but a lot of the time you're not going to be prepared for that. And so you'll end up running to the right or to the left and you'll miss it. Yeah, I spaghetti that fight. On top of the 13 seconds that we could have saved, I lost another 13. Yeah, going into World 6, nerve-wracking as hell. Like, I know I've said that already, but you know, the further you get into the run, the more nervous you get, and you can't help it. It's just one of those things that just comes with speedrunning. Like, honestly, if nerves weren't a thing, like, this would be a piece of cake. Looks like your hands are shaking, they're sweaty. I mean, I was sweaty at the time. It's no good. I mean, even when I'm not on good pace, just going into World 6 is always, you know, it always makes me nervous just because how late into the run it is. I mean, look, we're an hour and 50 in, you know, we're not even done yet. This chomp right here is random. Sometimes it'll come down early, sometimes you won't. We got a pretty good chomp there. And you can shoot through that crate and grab the 2 red coins. It's a lot faster, but it's easy to miss. It's a pretty precise shot. And even pushing that crate, if you're too low, you'll when you push it, you'll land on the ground for a second, but then you'll fall. I've had that happen. It's such a bad feeling. So you want to flutter into the top of the crate, or like the upper portion of it. And then after going through that gate, the Zeus guy, I tongue him to just get him out of the way. I got hit the other day, and it's really bad trying to recover stars. I think the 6th one was probably the worst level in the run because of this flower shot right here. I was trying to go for the consistent where you would there's a setup where you just duck in a specific spot and you can do a neutral instead of kind of doing a YOLO-ish type of strat. But I spaghetti that. I'll spit that goonie into that last flower as you fall and look swag. And shoot the tap. I jump at the sign, and then as soon as I land, I do a big jump, and then I spit out the toady at the same time. Then I'll let you skip the bonus. This last screen recently has been giving me a lot of problems. But, you know, what matters is that we got through it. And now, there will be a nice time save for next run, if this PBs. Yeah, Lord knows, right? I need to get some lessons from TRC or something. But I think that was mostly just due to nerves. And trying to go for like a setup that I'm not too consistent at, I guess. Because I had just been practicing that room yesterday. But it's all good, we got through it. Also, hey, Kyrix. Thank you. Also welcome. Right there we grab the mid-ring, and then we'll grab another one in the last screen. 60 doesn't have any big tricks, but when it goes right, it looks cool. Right there, I jump and flutter over the fireball just to make it safer. You could jump under him with a very short jump, or small jump, but it's risky. Right there, get the one of the last red coins. You want to make sure you have as many eggs as you can for the next level. Turn them to Super Baby Mario into a spike run. You could jump over the wall right there, but it's somewhat precise because you have to get a pretty good jump and then do a fairly precise cape over the wall. But with some practice, you can get it and cut out that other little section. The bonus skip right here, you jump out to the spike and then you jump into the goal ring. And that'll set you up to skip it. There is another setup that we came up with fairly recently, or I should say Poir did, as always, because he's always coming up with new stuff. Where you pretty much, you do the same sort of thing, except you do a setup where your position is the same, I should say. And then you jump into the goal ring. But I've never really been too good at that. So I just do what's safe and consistent. Here's the last level with fuzzies. There's only 3 in the game. Getting hit or touching a fuzzy will cost you 15 frames because it freezes the game for a second. Plus Yoshi runs all drunk. Oh, there's one. Just for you guys. I mean, it wasn't actually on purpose, but, you know, one for the fans. When the ground's wavy like that, you can't go through the screen exit, so you gotta wait a little bit. This last screen can be pretty scary because you can get hit. You gotta do all these egg shots. Plus there's no floor. Right there, just wait for the log to stop spinning, jump on the log, and do a Z-wing bonus skip and jump into the goal. In that ending section, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can bounce on the spring and do like 3 flutters and then wait for the log, or you can bounce on the Koopa like I did. Either way works, it's just you gotta do whatever you're comfortable with. So 6-4. These moving platforms are on a global timer, you could say. So they're all moving, even when they're not on screen. I believe they're moving. Or at least that's how it seems. I've never actually, done like actual research on it. Right there, you snipe the ghost guy and then you run into the boo. And then you face backwards so the boo tries to attack you, and that's when you can hit him. Or when the ghost guy hits him. I actually remember this. Right here, I heard a knock at the door, and I got really nervous. The one thing I was thinking was, oh shit, some friends came over, and the whole time I was thinking, if someone is here and they want to see me, I'm gonna straight up tell them, like, you need to go. Like, you need to go away, because this is very important. This is like the worst time that anyone could show up. Right there, do 3 up shots to make a bunch of red eggs. Easy salvo fight. There's actually 2 salvos in this level, but we skipped the second one with an extended flutter over to the stone column. You'll see that coming up in a little bit. Right here, you want to try to have as many eggs as possible, and also make stars off of those the ghost guys, so you can skip the mid-ring. Do a few egg shots in that room, get the red coins. You want to have as many eggs as possible for these upcoming rooms, because they don't really give you too many eggs to work with. So I grabbed those 2 those ghost guys. Knock the tap tap out of the way, do a neutral, grab those 4 coins. And those ghost guys, they move randomly too, so sometimes you'll be able to get them. Sometimes, you know, they'll be in a bad position, you won't be able to grab them. Right here, 1 neutral clear the tap taps, and then another one to get the flower. Easy peasy. And this next room, sort of a new strat that I came up with actually. You got 1, 2, 3 jumps, and then you neutral. And it works out just perfectly. The tap taps are out of the way, you get the flower. You can get out of there. And here you want 5 eggs going into the next room. 4 eggs for the boss, and then 1 egg for the final flower. Right here, that stone column. You bounce on the boo guy, and then you do an extended flutter, followed by another good flutter, and you can go up and over. Otherwise, you have to go to the bottom left of the dungeon, fight Salvo again, get a key, and then you would go through the pipe the regular way. And here, I know what you're thinking. Oh, why don't you skip the log? Why are you riding the log? Because it's safe. I ride the log because it's safe. It's the log of common sense. It only saves 3 seconds. And this late into the run, it's not worth it. It's similar to 5-4 skip. You gotta do 16 flutters. And then you also gotta shoot the flower at the end. Granted, it's not too bad, but still. When you're nervous and, you know, this far into the run, on good pace, it would be dumb to go for lava skip, I think. Right here you do 4 shots. The first one you shoot and you back up, then you move down, do another shot, all neutrals. And for the 3rd shot you back up, do another one. And then I would have to see it again. It all happens so quick, but yeah. Very quick kill, 4 shots. We'll get on up out of there, we'll save some time. Hey Pac, yo, thank you. Appreciate that. And hey Harry, welcome. Oh yeah, that's right. A lot of you guys haven't heard me use mic before. Wait, is it Pac or Pac? Like Tupac? Right there, did a few shots to get red eggs, and then I'll shoot those boo guys to get stars. Oh, Pac. Okay. Well, thank you. Now I know. I always read it as Pac, like, you know, Tupac, the rapper. Man, calling me out. First time hearing my voice and say your name wrong. I apologize. Yeah, if you guys don't know Pac, he's the owner of Speedrun.com, which is essentially a global leaderboard for everything speedrunning. I'm not sure if he streams, because I more or less live under a rock, but, you know, if he does, give that man a follow. Right there, I break those icicles early just so I don't have to worry about them later. This is the second to last auto-scroller, if we don't count the final ski section, and this room actually loops around. So remember that section where I shot out the icicles on the right side. It's going to loop up and to the right, and then we'll come back to where we were. That was kind of a cheeky way for them to extend the length of this level. Hey puppers, welcome. Nothing to say here. Make some red eggs, swag out. Avoid the lava. Because if you die there, oh boy, you are so screwed. And again, doing a shot on the boo guy so I can get stars. That'll let me skip the mid ring in the next room. Actually, you skip both the mid rings this way. But then that makes it risky because if you die, well, your run's kind of over. This level being 5 minutes, it's a really long level and you don't want to replay it. Right there, I was so scared, I almost got bodied by that rock. Thankfully, I didn't and I survived, but man, I couldn't imagine dying to that. Or getting, like, trapped under the screen there. Yeah, I'm gonna carry the red Shy Guy with me later so I can skip another rock. And this is the part right here that I was talking about. So before we went down, but now we're going to the right. The level loops. You want to shoot those icicles. Hopefully you get both of them, but if not, you can still get through it. Flutter over the lava. Now we just gotta wait. I upspit and recatch the Shy Guy just to refresh the timer. You've got like 20 seconds before Yoshi will automatically swallow him. Yeah, right there. You want to bounce on him, get an extended flutter, and get into the door, but I bonked, and so I lost it, the extended flutter. But then using that rock the normal way is pretty sketchy, because you gotta, gotta run along the edge and just, hang in there. If you fall in the lava, you're done. Hey Luke, welcome and thank you. Hope that's Luke. Wouldn't say I'm the best with names, but damn it, I'm trying. Hey Ziles. Hell yeah, man, we fucking did it, finally. Right here, nothing really much to talk about, just making red eggs, just keeping myself busy. Just wishing and hoping that the auto-scroller ends soon, because it's not a place you want to be, because it just delays the rest of the run. You don't want to be stuck with your thoughts for too long. You don't want to overthink things. Right here, just be safe, shoot the foam, get through there, as quick and safe as you can. Right here, I wait till just the last second to shoot the foam. You want to make sure that the egg clears all of it. And then do a backward shot for the flower right there. Coming up next, there's another auto-scroller, but if you do a frame-perfect jump right here, then you can skip it. If you keep the screen low, the auto-scroller doesn't trigger. And then you flutter across. But if you land on that strip of land, it'll trigger the auto-scroller. And that saves you about 25 seconds. So getting it second try is pretty good. It is a frame perfect trick, which means you have 1/60th of a second to jump as soon as Yoshi lands, and that'll prevent the screen from scrolling up, because the game registers Yoshi as never having landed on the ground. And then that rock section is pretty scary. If you jump wrong, you can easily get bodied by the rocks. And right here, first bonus of the run. I got the bonus because I was too far to the left, which means I had more speed, which means I entered the gold ring sooner and got a bonus. And when that happened, I prayed to the Yoshi gods saying, please give me a quick bonus. And then thankfully I got the slot machine. I think the other bonus you can get is scratch cards, or match cards. And that'll cost 45-ish seconds or so. It's pretty bad, so I lucked out there. Only losing 15. Oh yeah, 5-4 skip. We got that first try. And then we also got the perfect sluggy fight too. Right there, do a perfect flutter to get up here, get the stars from the crate. There is a strat where you can avoid using the rock to get the key, but that's kind of risky too. That's called rockless. It saves 7 seconds over using the rock, but if you get it first try, it's not too bad. It's double frame perfect, so you have to, with a very precise position, you want to tongue the key to get it towards you, and then you do another precise tongue to clip it through the wall. Right there, the egg went into the red tulip, which spawned stars, which caused a bunch of lag. And then I was actually short on stars from that star cloud because they didn't load in because of the lag. And of course, it makes ground pounding through that section really slow. So I'm at 19 here. I want to try to get as many eggs as I can. We'll do a red egg shot right there, get stars. And then we'll do another one right here. Get more eggs, more stars. And 27's good. Well, at least for this situation. Coming up, there will be a cloud with a flower in it where you can get 2 stars. I could have got 4 there, but I figured I would just get them in the next little area. So right there, double ricochet, 2 stars. Get the flower. And this time, we loop back around, so instead of going to the right, we're going to go up. And do another red egg shot to get 30 stars, or to get up to 30. And then here, I want to have 3 eggs going into the last little area. Grab one right there. We'll grab the toady, and then we'll shoot out the foam, and then bounce on the toady midair. And then those 2 eggs will be used in 6-7, which will speed up a section. I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is a live run. And so I duck right there. It's another position-based bonus skip. There is a strat where you can, you want to shoot the tap-tap, and then you'll tongue the tap-tap, the very final one, and that'll set you up to skip the bonus, but that's risky. So as always, do the safe, consistent thing. But yeah, this is totally a live run. I don't know what you're talking about. 6-7, you can scroll the screen up here. You want to avoid that slope, run across that brown platform completely, and then once you jump to the first numbered platform, the screen will scroll up, and then it'll lock that way, which will spawn that green platform sooner. And that'll save you a few seconds, because you don't have to wait for it. Also, poor Chain Chomp. He broke his teeth. The little bastard shouldn't have been trying to eat me. I think he got what he deserved. Right here, this is where you want your you want eggs. I upshot that last red coin, and now we have 1 for the next room. Right there, do a jump and a flutter to scroll that 3rd platform on screen and spawn it early. And that'll speed up that section a little bit. Right here, you could do a boost off of that red platform, but it's pretty precise because you're on the stairs, and so if you miss it, you'll lose a good chunk of speed. So I just opt to not do it and just jump over the stairs completely. Right here, you want 2A, shoot those red coins, and those ones. And then you want to ground pound through the... Shoot the flower off screen, and then we'll get another red coin and a flower. And then here in a second, I'm gonna make 5 yellow eggs so I can get stars from the tap-taps in the next area. And then that'll let me skip the mid-ring. Or at least, that's what you want. With the yellow eggs, if you bounce it or ricochet it 1 time, you'll get a red egg, and that'll give you a star. I only got up to 26 stars, so I was like, just abandon ship. We don't need to go all YOLO and, risk either losing the platform or getting hit and losing the platform over something that would save you, just a handful of frames. So, you cut your losses, take the mid-ring, and get up out of there. Hey, Tofu. Thank you. Also, welcome. Right there, I jumped on the foam for a split second. That way the screen transition sprite loads in. Otherwise, you could despawn it, and then you have to respawn it to actually exit the screen. Right here, I get rid of 1 egg to set up my... basically, each sprite in the game has a number, and there will be a gate hack coming up. And if the enemy or the egg that you're using has a higher number than the gate, then you're good. It's kind of hard to explain, but that's basically how it goes. You want to have a lower numbered sprite ID than the gate, otherwise it just won't work. And so you spit the enemy into the gate, grab him, and then respit it, and that'll open the gate. You can check Yoshi.science under tricks, the gate hack, and that'll explain more. And then right there, for that bonus skip, I do a ground pound and then flutter over that stair thing, and then jump into the bonus, or the goal ring. Going into 6-8 now. Pretty straightforward level. You'll get a bunch of red coins and flowers in this helicopter section. You gotta dodge Kamek. Normally this would be the end of the run, at least for warpless and warps. But unfortunately we still got this one and 3 more levels after. I get the mid-ring because it's safe. You could farm for stars in the auto-scroller section to skip the final mid-ring, but that's risky. Right there, do a neutral shot after the second window, and that'll set up perfectly to get the door 4. If you go too early or too late, you'll get one of the other doors. Door 4 is by far the fastest. You just run through this room and you're done. And then in door 3, it's an auto-scroller. Door 1 and door 2 are also just slow rooms. Right here, just make red eggs, so if I get lucky and get a shy guy, I can make stars off of him to skip the mid-ring. Yo, Torta, welcome. Hell yeah, man, this is real. This could be it. Right there, got lucky, got a star. And another star on a shy guy. Get a few more stars there. Hey, Nylum, thank you. Kind of bad luck getting these bats, but there's nothing you can do. The magic shots that Kamek uses will give you random enemies. You want to get stars or a shy guy, and then you can make stars for the mid-ring skip. Right here, just want to make sure that you don't get hit. You can sort of bait Kamek into shooting where you're at, and then you can dodge it easily. But then again, it's also kind of easy to get hit too. Right here, I'm already at 28 stars, so there's nothing to worry about. You just want to, run or touch Kamek, and then he'll disappear. And if you tongue, he'll also he'll disappear for longer. We'll shoot that final flower, and then we'll grab the last 2 stars that we need. We're at 30. And right here, just making Kamek disappear so he doesn't fire off any more magic shots and spawn enemies. And then I wait until I see the second banister fully appear, and then I'll run to the door. This run happened, I guess, 3-4 hours ago maybe. It's been quite some time, but yeah, it was earlier today. Yeah, a little behind on chat, but I was extremely nervous. Like all throughout World 5. Well, beginning of World 5 not so much, but after 5-4 skip, it's extremely nervous. There was a strat here, you could bounce on Baby Bowser's head to get him to not jump, and then you could ground pound him quicker, but that's risky. If you jump too low or you jump too late, he'll jump up and hit you. And yeah, I kind of missed the TIA here. I'm not going to explain it because you kind of get the idea. But it's, Yoshi's tongue goes in, yeah, Yoshi's tongue goes somewhere. And there's a running joke in the community that if you miss it, then, the run's invalid. So, say what you will. Yeah, the run's invalid. I missed the TIA, whatever. I don't care. It's actually slower. Not by much, but it's like a third of a second, I think. Right here, I'm practicing the egg shots. Like I'm imagining in my head the egg cursor. And so the first 3 shots are at that middle purple line. I shoot, and then I'll wait for Bowser to be out of his hit stun, and then I'll shoot again. You can do it faster, but it's risky to do, so I don't. So yeah, you do 3 shots at that, what I like to call the home line, that purple line, and then 2 lines above it, the darker purple line. That's where I do the next 4. As always, waiting for Bowser to just be about out of hit stun, and then you shoot again. The eggs here can spawn on the left or right side. It's about 4 seconds between each spawn, and you don't want to scroll the screen left or right. because then it'll reset that egg spawning timer, and then you'll have to wait. Unfortunately, 100% does not see the credits. We have to reset to play the extra levels. So you reset as soon as the explosion happens, then you're good. And right back into it. 6E, I'll grab this mace guy, and then I'll upspit him to clear out this caged ghost. As he rolls, he continually hits him, and you can clear him easy. Right there, do an early shot to clear the caged ghost so he doesn't grow. And then I do a left-right, wait a little bit, that way this guy will spit out a shy guy. And then I spit it into him and get through the door. Do a low jump there to get the red coins, and then run along that and get those coins. You can shoot through the floor there, get those 3 red coins. And then we're gonna go up here and take the mid-ring. Hey Nikki, yep, I do have a voice. Hey Rob. Hell yeah, my insane pace. Right there, I do 2 ground pounds just for timing purposes, and I jump off and then shoot the spike, trigger the red platform, grab 3 red eggs, jump up here, shoot this guy, and then you could do another mid-ring animation skip where you hit the star cloud and go through the mid-ring, but I missed it there. But now we're at 30 stars and we're on the home stretch. This last bit's fairly straightforward. You just want to duck, that way these guys throwing eggs at you don't hit you off the platform. You want to try to get as many eggs as you can. And there's a thing where you can, if you grab an egg at the same time where you're holding an egg, you can have 7. So you'll have 6 in your inventory and then 1 on Yoshi's sprite, if that makes sense. Right here we'll just ground pound and then hopefully get the pipe jump. Yeah, we got it. And that'll save you half a second. Do an upshot there, go to the left, ground pound. That's the quickest way to get through this room. You don't want to ground pound in the center. Yeah, this run was deathless. There was one bonus in 6.5, but it was a quick one. Right here, just don't move once you get on the platform. And then as soon as the red platform reaches the gold platform, then you start running, and then you jump into the gold ring. But if you go too late or too early, then you'll get a bonus. Which actually happened to me a couple days ago, and I lost a PB pace run to it. But because of that, I came up with a backup strat for that. Hey Sasrin. Hell yeah, man, we winning. We winning big over here. So the level order, we do 6E, then 5E. 5E just because you have red eggs from the previous level. And that'll let you skip the upcoming egg block. You want to have 5, but I was like, no, I'm good, I'll go for it. But then I was short an egg here, which in turn made me short on stars, so I had to go forward, backtrack, and get those 2 that I missed. Very unfortunate, but it's not that big of a time loss, I guess. It's, I don't know, 10 seconds or so. But I'm just glad that I didn't, get hit or, nothing catastrophic happened. So that's good. And here's you could call this an auto-scroller section, but the second of only 2 ski sections. You want to jump at the sign here, wait, jump in the valley, and then jump at the sign here. And then on the last section of the slope, jump, and then you're home free. With the exception of that last jump. Yeah, let me see the Yoshi skis in chat. This will be your last chance to post them. A few jumps right there, get the red coins. There's a little black mark on that final cloud, that's where I jump at, and that'll set you up to get those last 3 red coins. And then jump at the second coin after that valley, and then you'll get the flower as you fall and hit the helicopter. Granted, it happened so fast it's kind of hard to tell what exactly it was, but that's how you do it. And these baseball guys throwing eggs, they can collect red coins for you too. Right here, because I lost some time and I had to wait for Kamek to pass me. But then you go under the screen here because it's faster. And then if you touch the wall, that'll drop your speed to 0, which lets you accelerate faster. So you don't have to waste time, waiting for your speed to drop. Touching a wall or a ceiling will drop it instantly. And the bonus skip right there, you just run through the snow and then jump into the goal. That's the easiest one in the game. I mean, there is an alternate strat for that helicopter section where you would jump much earlier and get the first helicopter bubble. And then you do that section sort of reverse, so you'll left to right. It's slightly faster, but it's a little more work, so I don't do it. And yeah, backtracking for those stars cost me some time there. Like I said, about 10 seconds. And here we go, final level. These sewer entrances things, you can also do pipe jumps on those, but these ones are a little different. These will save you 42 frames instead of the regular 29. But it's a little bit different too because you have to do up and jump instead of down and jump. So I make a red egg there so I can get stars from this upcoming flower. And then the egg route that we do lets us skip a star crate. We'll do another backwards neutral shot to the flower to get 2 stars. And I make sure to catch that red egg just in case. And then get that guy just as a backup. You gotta do a perfect flutter up here, and then you want to line up on the... I don't even know what you want to call it, but yeah, you stand in a spot and you do a neutral, and you get stars. Yo, hey Tart Milk. We got it earlier today. Or, I don't know, this might be world record. Could be. We're on pace for it. We'll do a red egg shot to get 2 additional stars on that star cloud. And then we'll get 2 red eggs here. This is that star crate that I was talking about. Normally you would ground pound that to get 6 stars, but then you have to respawn it, which takes time. But with red eggs you can skip it. We pretty much break this level in a good way. Like there's quite a few rooms that we skip. We'll do a red egg shot on that guy. Well, just a regular shot with the red egg, get 2 stars. We gotta spawn the piranha plant in the box, get another 2 stars, and we're pretty much home free. There will be another piranha plant in the final room, which will get the last 2 stars, and we'll be good. As for the red coin eggs, when you jump into the goal ring, they're automatically collected, so there's nothing to worry about. And yeah, going through my head in the last level, nothing too much. I was just thinking, alright, this is the last level, just focus. Don't think about anything, just play your game. Stay calm. You know what you're doing, you've done this a million times. Just do it. And yeah, that bonus skip right there, you jump in that last little tunnel place. And then you hold B the entire way. You'll do a flutter off of the ledge, and then once you get up and jump into the goal ring, you'll skip the bonus. You could do a Z-wing bonus skip there, but it's risky because, like with anything else, you do it too early or too late, and you miss it. And yeah, that was world record. 228.23. I actually retimed it earlier today, so it's a 228.23.467, but we'll just drop the decimals, those aren't important. Yeah, man, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching the restream with me, and hope you enjoyed the commentary. It's been a hell of a ride, but, we're not stopping here. 227's around the corner, and, I might just be going for that tomorrow. You never know. Thanks for all the GGs and everything. Thanks for the bits Kovu, and for the bits Torta, and for the 17-month resub. Damn, Nav, thank you. Thank you. 17 months is crazy. Thank you for the bits Videric. Hope I'm saying that right. And yeah, I mean that was Yoshi's Island in world record time. Like, I don't even know what to say about that. It's such a good feeling. Like after over 3 years of grinding pretty much daily, I finally got it.